Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Alex, and today I'm going to be talking about how to get FTMO funded part 2. And I say part 2 because I have talked about it before in previous videos, but I kind of wanted to make its own video. I'm going to be telling you guys these tips that I wish I knew in the beginning of my Forex journey and my journey to get funded. Over a GJ breakdown, we're going into the end of the week. We're going to the holidays, so we really want to be careful. But, in terms of how to get funded, it's more than just trading strategy. It's more than just patience. It's more than just controlling your emotions. You got to be able to bring all that together to be able to stay calm under a trade. I know what it's like to be in a trade. It's crazy. Emotions, seeing that red, but also seeing that blue. I know what it looks like to see that blue screen. So, hopefully you guys take these tips into helping you pass your first challenge or a repeated challenge. It doesn't matter. I hope you really can take something from this. I wish I did. And you know what? I'm gonna roll the clip of when I first passed. I'm pretty sure I got it saved in my camera or somewhere. I was so excited. I was like, I passed the first part for the first time. It was crazy. If I can find it, roll it. If I can't, then whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna be bringing down GJ while talking about how to get funded, some tips and tricks, things I wish I knew before I started my Forex journey. And hopefully you guys enjoy. And I'll see you guys on the charts.
Yo, so we're back. Hopefully you guys like that little intro that I'm starting to make. Today I'm going to be talking about how to get funded. We're on the charts now. And of course, while we're breaking down the charts, top-down analysis, I'm going to be telling you guys how to get funded. This is on GJ Thursday night. It's the 16th of December. So we really want to be careful trading. We are heading into the holidays. We are heading into, the fund of the week. But, in terms of trying to know how to get, sorry, in terms of how to get funded, first things first, and it's the first point that I want to make, and that is make sure, make sure, oops, make sure your strategy is back tested and proven. Listen, you can go through the FTMO challenge, on a demo account, right? It's going to be hard because the emotions aren't there, but practice, practice, practice. If you think you have a good, profitable strategy, make sure over and over again that it is profitable. Don't just jump into a FTMO challenge. What I did was, well, actually, no, that's what I did. That's what I did, right? I remember after learning the strategy for so long, I went straight into the challenges. I think I like made 10K on a demo account once, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm ready." And I jumped straight into the FTMO account, and it was just losses, losses, losses. And you don't want to repeat that. You don't want to do that, right? So, first things first on the checklist is make sure strategy is back tested and proven. I can't stress this enough. You really want to back test your strategy. You want to make sure it's okay. You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste your money, and not even that, but going into it prematurely and going into the challenge prematurely, when you lose, it could take a hit to your ego, right? Like, oh, what's going on? And you don't want that. Just stay strong, don't quit, and remember, make sure you back test your strategy, make sure it is what you like, it is what you know. I can't stress this enough. I jumped straight into it, lost so much money, lost so much times over the last 2 years. Make sure your strategy is back tested and proven. And for number two, so number two on the list is chase the consistent wins, not the big ones. Listen, and this kind of goes with number three, right? And number three is the most, I'm gonna put stars next to it, risk to reward. So two and three are gonna be together, right? Chase the consistent wins, not the big ones, right? Don't rush the process. Big lots are gonna come, right? The big lots are gonna come soon. Forex is a long-term game. The big lots are gonna come soon. The big profits are gonna come soon. But you need to stick with the strategy. You need to chase the consistent wins. Not the big ones. It's easy to win. It's easy to win one. Anybody can, technically anybody can get lucky and win one huge trade and make so much money. But is that sustainable? Not really. You want to chase the consistent wins and make sure you are following number three, a risk to reward strategy. Risk to reward is what is going to make you profitable. This is the most important thing I tell everybody that's on my telegrams, on Instagram. No risk, no reward, but make sure it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody probably knows that saying, no risk, no reward, but you gotta really believe it, right? You gotta make sure the risk or the reward is worth the risk. So risk to reward strategy is a strategy in which someone comes up with, right, in terms of how much they're going to risk to make how much per trade, right? And chasing the consistent ones, not the big ones. This kind of relates to risk to reward because when you have a consistent risk to reward plan, when you're risking a certain amount to make a certain amount every single time, and only raising your risk in certain occasions, that's how you're going to stay profitable in the long run, and that's all you can hope for in forex, right? You can't get greedy in the market. But what I see traders do, what I have done before, is I win two trades. I put up all the profit I made in those two trades and lose the third one. I'm 2-1 and I'm not profitable. That's a big problem, right? If I'm 2-1, I should be very profitable. If you follow a proper risk management plan, you should be profitable. Even in a break-even week, you can be profitable, right? I tell everybody all the time, risk to reward is everything. You need a management plan. You need a risk to reward management plan. You need to stick true to it. Don't raise your risk just because you won one time. Because if you have the mindset of putting what you made this week into one trade alone, your next trade and you lose, you just lost a whole week's worth of profit. You have to stay consistent. Chase the consistent wins, not the big ones. And for the fourth one, what I would like to say is control your emotions. Every trader could have probably figured this one out, that this one was coming. Being in a trade is probably one of the most emotional things that you can do, right? Seeing that red screen, right, is so emotional. Wanting to get out, wanting to re-enter when you see blue, trusting your trade. Non-traders will never understand, right? Non-traders will never understand what we mean by this. They look at the charts and like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, if you know, you know, and you got to be able to control your emotions. You got to be able to learn to live with your trades. You got to be able to learn to love your trades, to trust your trades, and leave the emotions at the door when you hop on the chat. I mean, when you hop on the chart. Sorry, because when you hop on the chart and you bring those emotions with you, it can't really. It's not going to lead to anything good, right? If you're not scare money doesn't make any money. If you're not afraid to lose money, you're not going to make any money. So, take your trade, trust your trade, and that's probably one of my biggest things in trading, right? And as I'm wrapping up GJ, I'm not making so many markups because I do have a little bias right here. We go into the daily time frame. We broke above, created a higher high. We're pushing down low 2 days ago. We did have a huge resistance to the downside, but what I do see is a trend line hitting, which you could possibly tell price to go right back up. Although I do see lower highs being made. Highs are being made, but when you look at the bigger picture, we are having some rejection to the upside. Rejections the supply and demand zone very strongly for not for the 2 days in a row. So, if we do break under and start trading under this key area at, let's see, 167.366, then I do feel like we could actually short to go down to 166.000 and, possibly start in a downtrend. Although we would have to break this trend line, we would have to break the support and resistance, trade under it, retest, real retest, no entry, take entry somewhere in here, and then go short. That's just the shift in structure when you see the pivot points that are being made that this is what we really want to break, right? And yeah, that's my outlook on GJ. But for the final thing that I want to tell you guys to make sure that you have is patience. Patience ties into, sorry, patience ties into everything. It ties into controlling your emotions. Patience is part of that. Risk to reward and chasing the consistent wins. You got to have patience, restrain yourself from sending such big loss just because you made a big earning one day. And be patient with your strategy being back tested and proven. Don't rush into it. Patience is everything. Patience is everything in Forex. I had this big saying I tell myself before every training session, that's patience pays, and we won't get nowhere without it. So these are the four things that I would definitely take into consideration when getting FTMO funded. Please, I didn't do this enough. My risk to reward management plan wasn't on point. I wasted so many months with that. Emotions is something you're gonna have to deal with in your experiences, right? You're not gonna understand until you deal with those emotions, right? You have to, and when they're happening to you, when you're in the trade, and when you're thinking, "Oh, should I get out? Oh, should I get out? Damn, should I close and enter here? Should I wait until it's more secure?" Those are all emotions. It's all self-doubt in your head. You want to get rid of that, and that's how you create a bulletproof mind in Forex. Make sure your strategy is back tested and proven. I definitely jumped the gun when I went for the account challenges. I lost so much money. I lost over eight grand, and yeah. And please have patience. Forex is a long-term thing. Success doesn't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built overnight. But, you know, yeah, I would definitely take these tips, add them into your strategy, and hopefully you guys pass your next or your very first TMO challenge. I wish you guys all a great weekend. Again, this is GJ for the end of the week. Be careful. I have a short bias. I'm not really interested to go long, especially with all the rejection at the 169.000 area. And I hope you guys come back. Thank you for watching. Deuces.